Yes, people, how we doing? So I'm going live with Zach Griffiths from Wales. So we're going to be talking about the deaths inside of HMP Park because at the moment, or as we speak, another prisoner has just been found dead yesterday, Saturday, the 1st of March 2025. Now I am just waiting for Zach to join us. Hopefully everything goes to plan. Yeah, it's the first time he's joined like this before, so hopefully he should be joining any minute. So yeah, I'm just waiting for him to join. But HMP Park, which the majority of you will be aware of, is down in Wales. And it has had, I believe, 34 deaths in the last couple of years, which is a scandalous, absolutely scandalous amount of deaths. And as it says there, Parc Prison killer spice epidemic. That is what they're now calling it, killer spice, because that's exactly what it is. And obviously because this one has only been as recent as yesterday, they will not know until they do a post-mortem, but people will, or they will know exactly what it is off. So 2 seconds, because I can see Zach is on the bottom there. I'm going to add him now.
Yes.
Zach, how are we doing?
Chaos, absolute chaos.
I've just done a little introduction about Parc Prison, talking about the most recent death, which was yesterday, and it was a 49-year-old man.
It's just crazy, mate. It's just constant. It's just something all the time, like. So you know, in this case, it was released. We had evidence of it. You know, we knew yesterday that this young man, this gentleman, was found in the cell. He had died the night before he was found. And what basically happened was the night staff didn't do the appropriate checks. They didn't look for signs of life. They didn't look for him breathing. They didn't look for him moving. They just, open the flap and walk off.
So was he just found this morning?
He was found yesterday morning in the cell, but he had died the night before. He overdosed the night before.
Right, so he'd been there from the Friday night.
The boys in the jail shouted out the window to him, but he wouldn't answer all night. So we knew that he died the night before, no?
Yeah.
But
as it says, and as I've been reading, it's obviously as it says on the title of the screen there, killer spice epidemic, because that's exactly what it is. It's an epidemic.
It's what's happening.
So can you give us the figures and the statistics, Zach?
So we're looking at 32 deaths in the last 36 months. So it's about one a month, isn't it? Roughly one person a month is dying in this prison. That pattern has continued. It's continued for the last sort of year. This sort of we have hit and miss. 2 deaths, one month, one. It's just constant sort of. It's not only the deaths either. It's this culture, this sort of toxic culture in the jail. They've actually got this thing in there at the moment. Yeah, they're all referring it to it as being killer spice. It's this strand, and we think it's a fentanyl-based spice because what's happening is the inmates are taking it and they're projectile vomiting, they're passing out. So it seems like it's either a very strong synthetic spice or it's a cut with something like a nitazine. Yeah. It's absolute crisis now at the moment, mate. What the prisons actually. But go on.
For the ones that have been in prison, will know the cells that spice. Spice is an absolute killer on its own. So when you're putting further stuff into it, lacing it with the likes of fentanyl, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Absolute
but sometimes,
disaster.
like the lads in jail, like just for the viewers watching this now as well, sometimes though, the lads in jail, when someone's went over on the wing and went to hospital and died, the rest of the lads are shouting there's power on the wing, they're calling it power. And they're love it because strong. You would think that
It's
something like
strong.
that would put them off and think, I don't
Hmm.
want none of that stuff. I'll not touch it. But people actually
They
want it
want
because
it
it's that.
even more.
So
Innit?
this is what you're up against as well. As much as people like yourself is trying to promote awareness and trying to stop it,
Hmm.
but that the lads are loving it because it's that strong as well. So how can you sort of get wrong that?
I mean, like, an officer will always take a payment to bring a parcel in, innit? For the right amount, innit? There's always
Yeah.
you can cut the mail off, you can put bars on the windows, you can put people on closed visits, but what you can't do is stop a prison officer taking an extra wage. innit? It's like you know how
Exactly.
the drugs get in the prison, clothes, drones, visits, staff. You have to improve every single area of that to stop the drugs getting in it. That's just common sense. But like, especially in this prison at the moment, there's been 26 cold blues this weekend. That's to this morning. As of this morning, there have been 26 cold blues just this weekend. That's how bad this prison is at the moment. Unbelievable numbers. Crazy, like. Crazy, like.
It's mad.
But
Imagine the strain that's putting
yeah,
on the emergency
on the
services as
prison,
well.
yeah,
On
100%.
the prisons, on the emergency services out here. Like,
Yeah, I'm sitting there, yeah, watching the helicopter radio, like the helicopter emergency ambulance thing. Like
all right,
basically, you can get a radar tracker and you can track the helicopters in the air where they are. I'm literally just sitting there watching it, wondering if the air ambulance is going there. I've got the air ambulance locked on to the thing, and then just that
fuck,
bad in there, bro. Like it's fucking
mental.
that bad, bro. Fucking mad, isn't it? But yeah,
Exactly.
but you know what it is, yeah. Like 2 week over the last 2 weeks, right? This is what we've had. This is what had happened in this prison. We've had a young lad, 18, 19-year-old, put into a cell with a sex offender who pulled a knife out on him, poured boiling hot water over him, engraved his name into him, and raped him. We've had that. We've had the riot. We've had,
When was this?
so we had the guy that was raped, the young lad that was raped.
Try not to say that word on here. Just say
Sexually
try not to say
assaulted, isn't
that
it?
word. Being I.
He was sexually assaulted, sort of in the jail by a sex offender, and what the officer did, the officer took the young lad who was put him in the cell. He reduced his risk. You know the CSRA, cell share risk assessment. He reduced his risk to free up a cell and then put him in with a paedophile who sexually assaulted him. This guy is now under arrest and is being investigated for this alleged sexual assault. That's just to be fair, the officer did resign the day after that. The manager did. He did resign the day after that happened, didn't it? But it doesn't make it better. Like, do you know what I mean? It just shows the crisis this prison is in. We've had that. We've had the right.
So was this
basically
how old was it? How old was the lad?
18, 19-year-old.
And he was put in with that. Fucking, he should never have been even put in with someone like that.
The sex offender was high risk of serious harm to young people. So the officers knew that he was a high risk. They literally, bro, they literally, I'm not going to say that word, but they literally handed him over on it to the sex offender. He didn't.
That's
like disgusting, isn't it? But this is what this prison is like, isn't it? This is exactly what this jail is like. And it's not only that, mate. There's been other things. There's been like a riot. 2 boys had a punch up the other day, and then half the wing got involved. Riot things that the riot officers had to go in. There's just absolute crisis, mate. Like every single time I look at my phone, something's happening. About an hour ago now, the staff have gone in and searched the guy's cell and took all his medication, took his asthma pumps, saying they had to search it. It's all sealed, like. Took all his vapes off him. Just targeted attacks, mate. Absolutely disgusting, like. It's something every single
so
minute
out of all of them, was it 32 or 34 deaths, did you say?
There's 32 confirmed deaths, but our numbers are 35, so where they're failing to account for 3 people.
Out of the confirmed ones, when they've done like an autopsy, what's been the results of it? Has it been down to?
So at the moment we've got 6 or 7 drug-related confirmations, but obviously they're all, the inquest, the verdicts are taking years, innit? Because I don't know if you know how you probably know how it works, Ricky. So obviously the PPO has to do an investigation, then they produce a report. That report gets given to the family of the deceased, and then the family can either accept the report or ask for an amendment. And then once that's finalised, that process on its own could take a year, 2 years. And then that process then goes in for a final verdict and the inquest. So this whole process can take 3 years. These families, the first death back in February 22. These families are still ain't got answers now. They're still, and some of them, I think we've got like 3 or 4 now which are confirmed. The families are waiting, 2, 3 years, and then when they get to the thing and they're on the door slammed in their face, oh, we didn't do nothing wrong, and they're like, I've waited all that time expecting justice and they didn't get it. It's like absolutely unbelievable, mate. It's so wrong,
it's a tricky one as well, because the majority of lads inside a jail, a lot of them, they want to get off the nut, they want to get off their heads. And you've got that saying as well, where it's not forced upon them. I mean, some of them, they do get it forced upon them, but they're taking it on their own free will. So they're taking that risk, knowing that when they take that will be the end of them, aren't they?
I'm sure, when they bought the drug of that guy, when they put that bit of paper in their hand, how are you meant to know what's in that, innit? Well, you just, all you're seeing in your hand is a bit of paper. You don't know if there's spice in there, if it's fentanyl. You know what I mean? So like they had the smoke of that drug, not knowing that they was going to be dead a minute later. Like, when you're addicted, you're always going to pick it up in you. So it's like,
well, to be honest with you, like you say, what if they're addicted as well, and like, even if they got told you take that and it might kill you, they'll still take it. They want it, don't they?
It's not easy, innit? Look, I'm not naive, innit, to think that G4S are struggling, innit. Like obviously I know they're struggling to manage this prison, innit. But what I'm not seeing from them is any actual delivery. It's more like a fake act. Like what they've actually, listen, Ricky, this is how bad it's got now, okay? They've introduced this weird thing called red regime. It doesn't even, it's not even allowed. It's basically lock the inmates up for 23.5 hours a day. Like, it's basically segregate them in their cells. Like, they're trying to blame it on staff, okay? But it's nothing to do with staff. G4S increased their numbers by 12%. They are now fully staffed in it. There are no excuses for it. What they're doing, okay? I think we spoke about this before. During COVID, the Ministry of Justice learned that by locking people up, you reduce violence in the prison. So what happened in the last count with G4S is their violence ratings went up 300%. So what they're trying to do now is they're learning the lesson from COVID, trying to bring their violence ratings down by locking people up. And at the same time, what they're doing is affecting people's mental health, pushing them into drug addiction because the boys are in there. Yeah, they're doing it for their own personal incentive, incentivizing it for their own corporate interests, but actually at the detriment to these lads and also their families as well. Like
you see as well, the screws love the lads being locked up behind the doors because it's easy for them. Yeah. It's an easy day for them. Coming in, they just stand around having cuppas on the lands or doing out. But obviously, if the lads go run all over the wings, then they've got to put the graft in, haven't they? So they don't want them out, do they?
It's mad, like. It's crazy, like.
It's the prison system at the moment is on its arse, proper on its arse at the minute. And like you say, when they're locking them up, and keeping them banged up all day long, it's not doing nothing apart from, like you've just said as well, with the mental health. The mental health is deteriorating. And a lot of the time, more so in some of the other prisons as well, the deaths aren't down to anything else apart from the mental health when they've took their own lives because they can't handle it no more.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, it's like this last death that we were speaking about from yesterday. So what's basically happened, okay, is this guy's overdosed in cell, and what Chief West have done is they put a statement out saying that there's nothing there's nothing sort of there's no, what's the word? I can't remember what they say. It's basically trying to say in their statement that everything seems normal, like there's nothing suspicious about this death. I mean, like that's the narrative that they give to the press, and now that narrative has now been plugged through 6 of my press releases today. We've released to the BBC, and we've released to the Daily Report, Wales News Online, Wales Online, Pembrokeshire Herald, and also the Herald. So we've managed to get 6 press releases out on this story today, and now that narrative which they've put onto their release has now carried through the people which I've released this story to. So now the people think there's nothing normal about this death. For an actual fact, this person overdosed. They're just lying to protect themselves.
Oh, but they're just going to cover it up, aren't they?
It's not fair.
And like we were saying before, when we were speaking about it before, there was an epidemic in Home House Prison up here in the northeast of England.
Yeah.
Where every day, like you just mentioned there, 30-odd blue lights on a daily basis. Sometimes there was 10 ambulances lined up, waiting to come in the prison to call people off to hospital. But not long after, the prison actually controlled it. They got it under control. They got security screws in. They got security screws in from Franklin Prison. They put the whole jail on lockdown. No one was getting anything in through visits. The jail was run dry. The prisoners hated it because there was nothing in the jail. You couldn't really get the mail was getting photocopied and put through your door, so you couldn't get the paper in. And the screws actually, the security screws had that jail on lock. You couldn't get nothing in. So that if they wanted to in Park, they could do the same as what they've done there. They could stop it if they wanted to.
The difficulty with Park is, right, and this is very unusual. This is one thing about Park. It's very unusual to any other prison. There's no bars on the windows. They ain't got no bars on the windows.
Still open up so you can put your arms out and swing lines and
that. You see, like, I don't know what your kitchen is like, Ricky, but you see, like, if you got a thing in the middle and you push it out.
All right, sorry.
That's the windows, bro. Just literally stand the window. No, that answers a lot of questions, though, doesn't it? That answers a lot of questions. And do you know what it is? Yeah? That's right by the outer wall, right by the main road. All you got to do is park up on the main road, chuck a drone out, to fly straight to the window. It takes you 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. If you've done, like a flight path, innit? You can lock the coordinates into the drones. So once you've flown once, just go outside, you can chuck it, and it'll go straight there. Like, unbelievable, mate. And it's been like that for years, absolutely for years. So there's, they can try and do that.
The majority of the prisons up and down England as well. At the minute, they're rampacked with everything, but there doesn't seem to be the deaths as is what's happening down in Park. That's
I know.
that's the worrying thing. But it's obviously the family members out here that are suffering the most, worrying about the loved ones inside, because the prisoners in there, they're not awesome. The prisoners in there, they're not awesome. They're not giving people a second thought, or they're just getting off their heads, trying to get through the time.
They're in their bubble, innit? They're in their
bubble. Trying to get through the time. And it's
treated so badly.
It's the family members out here that's sitting worrying. I mean, I've got a few people in the comments here. We'll go through a few comments in a minute when we're finished talking.
Yeah. But it's like I was saying, mate. Like, obviously, I've got my group. I've got HMP Prisons Justice Group and stuff. And basically, like, I speak to family members inside this prison every day, all day, asking me stuff, information, asking for help, and we try our best every single time, But they are at the crisis point, They can't cope with this. Like, I'm seeing me releasing these stories, or exposing the truth about this jail, and then I'm seeing their anxiety levels rise, and I'm like, is this worth it? Like, am I doing the right thing here, innit? Because
like you say, like you say, it's a tricky one for you, because when you're releasing the stories as well, immediately the people who's on that group, who's got family members in prison, are thinking, is that my son? Is that my brother? Is that me? Exactly. Is that my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, or what?
Yeah, we always try to. What we do, we got a policy here. So basically, if we get a name, we don't release the name, but we confirm or deny privately on mail. We won't do it publicly. So say like I get a name now, I don't know, a person died on X1, and I get the name, and I'll say, right guys, I got the name. People will mail me then on X1 saying, is it him? And I've got the name then, innit? So I won't say yes, like, I'll just say yes or no, innit? Like, I won't, you know what I'm saying, innit? So I do it in a private sort of way. And it's actually worked really well.
Sorry, go on.
It actually works really well as well. It actually does work really well.
So what's the mood like on the wing with the prisoners then after this has happened?
Oh, bro, like, they're just, screws have gone in quite hard, innit?
So
Yesterday with the screws,
basically locked down until obviously.
The screws done yesterday. Yeah, this you probably never even heard of this. I've never heard of this for my whole time there, and ever done in jail. What they've done yet is they've gone round to the bag, opened people's doors, and saying, "Look, if you've got drugs and phones, put them in the bag, and you won't get done for it." like an amnesty. Like I know you've got amnesty. I know you've got amnesties in reception when you walk into the jail, innit? They'd be like, if you've got a phone, hand it over, and it's done. Like, but I've never heard of them doing that on the wing. It's mad. And I don't think they're not doing it by the book, innit? Because private jails, if they get found with drugs and phones, they get fined for it, innit? So I think what they're doing is I think they're just doing it like off the books, hush hush, trying to get all the phones up. You know what I mean, innit? Try to settle the jail a little bit, but it's completely unlawful. Like mad, like.
So all the lads. Oh, no. So all the lads, when there's a death inside the prison, are the lads upset that someone's died, or are they worried that they're going to get spun? Which way are they looking at it? What narrative are they looking at?
So like they're just like obviously they're just in shock, and like most of them have obviously been there for a while and stuff, so they've had other people dying on the wing because there's been so many deaths and stuff. But the boys are like the boys inside there again getting quite angry in it. There's been quite a lot of violence recently. Like I like obviously I see everything in it because I'm right in the center of the whole thing. So I can I see the fluctuations. I see when the wing's really kicking off. Now, right now at this very moment, this prison is in the state which it has not been for a long time. I've noticed that there's a serious epidemic, like you say, with this killer splice. I don't know what's in it, but these boys are really addicted to this drug in it, and it's causing some serious problems in this jail. It's not just on A wing; it's on all of the wings. But A wing is absolutely flooded with it, like in a really bad way. So I am really concerned about what's in this drug, and I do think there's going to be a few more deaths this week. I hope not, but based on what I'm hearing and all the code blues, 26 code blues this weekend, this is it is likely that I hope not, but it is.
So just for the viewers that are watching, obviously a lot of them will not know what a code blue is. If you can just break that down and say like,
so a code blue is. A code red is sort of a blood related incident, and then a code blue is somebody that's unresponsive to sort of people that's not breathing. It's basically an overdose. A code blue, it's an overdose basically. If a member of staff finds an inmate, well, they're meant to press the bell and call a code blue, and then Hotel 1, so Hotel 1 is healthcare, would respond, and then obviously that'd be in a medical situation. But there's been 26 code blues this weekend, 26 overdoses in this prison. And that was from this morning. So, over 2 days, 13, what's it going to be? 39 by 3 if the averages continue. It's a lot of people to overdose. It shines a spotlight on exactly how strong this killer spice is, isn't it? It shines a spotlight on exactly how strong this drug is like. I do think that it's like a fentanyl or something because people have been passing out from it. Like they've literally been passing out. So I think it's probably a fentanyl based sort of opiate or even a nitazine, possibly. The reason why I'm more drawn towards fentanyl is because I know nitazine is a lot stronger. So if you're going to say that there's 26 overdoses, I'd expect that more people would have died. So that's leading me to believe there's fentanyl, which is very common at the minute and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I suppose like I say, Zach, it's happening up and down the country, but not to that extent. Obviously, prisoners going over like that to that extreme, it's just fucking outrageous. Obviously, there's a big, and like you see, a lot of press has been in touch with you going over it, but I'm just having a look there because obviously we're coming up to nearly 30 minutes. We've been on for 25 minutes. Got another few minutes because, like I say, I'm quite busy. But I'll just go through a couple of these comments, mate, to see what because someone was putting on before saying that their son was actually in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 seconds. But is there anything more you would like to go over, Zach, before anything more you would like to cover on this?
I'd just like to sort of, take this opportunity again to say that, enough is enough. We have to pull the plug on G4S and we have to get them out of this jail. We have to, they actually come to, they got 8 years left on their contract. They've made nearly £100 million since the first death happened. It's not acceptable. We need to get G4S out of this prison, and we need to do it right now. I've been extremely busy today. My phone's going off. I've got 26 messages. It's like unbelievable. It's just constant, mate. But we need to get G4S out of this jail. It's just ridiculous, like.
But I will, like I say, Zach, I'll do whatever I can to help keep this updated on here as well. Obviously, there's a lot of people on your channel, which is mine as well, especially on their Facebook pages. But like I say, when prisoners are dying, a lot of them, the decent lads as well, they're just in there trying to get the time passed over.
100%. It's just sad, isn't it, bro? Sad, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I like to see some of the lads that you meet inside, the decent lads, and they're doing this 100%. Just get through the jail. And when they're taking that, they're not expecting to never fucking wake up again, are they?
No. It's like I told you last time, Ricky. I nearly died myself in it, so I understand in it. I get it in it. Like I literally, I understand it. Like I suppose I'm just one of the lucky ones in it. It's really that simple, isn't it? But yeah, Ricky, man, thank you for this. Thank you for doing this for me, innit?
No worries, mate. But like I say, I'll keep it updated.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated. I got a feeling it's going to be a busy week, buddy. Got a feeling it's going to be a really busy week.
Sounds like there's been that many Cold Blues already over the weekend.
Yeah. But listen, thank you for your time, mate. I don't know how to get out of this.
No bother, Zach, but I'm just having a look at the comments there, and it looks like you've got quite a few trolls on.
Yeah, the trolls, they do like big platforms.
There's a couple of people putting in. I mean, there's a couple of people saying things in the comments. I'm not going to go with them because the people watching the comments will have seen it. But the few people saying, ask you what you've been in for. I don't need to ask you what you're in for because we've done a podcast previously. And I know what you were in for. You were in for supply, weren't you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna jump on that now, innit?
All right.
Yeah. Listen, thank you very much for doing this, mate. I appreciate that a lot, mate.
No bother, mate. Nice one. Till the next time.
Yeah. All right, love you.
Right. Right. Take care, mate.
I need to go back to